My beloved child, come closer in spirit and listen with your heart, not just your ears. Before your finger moves again, before your eyes wander away, heaven itself has leaned down to whisper your name. This is not noise. This is not chance. This is not another passing voice in a crowded world. This is a knock from above, firm yet full of mercy, urgent yet soaked in love, calling you in this very breath of time. Long before this moment, before you woke today, before you carried your burdens silently, this second was written. Heaven counted it. Angels stood still around it. And now you are standing inside it. Many have passed this door without knowing, but you have been stopped, gently yet powerfully, because your soul still matters deeply to God. My child, the world teaches you to scroll, to rush, to move without listening. But heaven teaches you to pause. When God speaks, time bends. When heaven warns, love is trying to protect what darkness wants to steal. His message did not come to frighten you. It came to cover you. It came to shield you. It came because something unseen has been circling, and heaven refuses to stay silent. Listen carefully, my beloved. There are moments when God sends comfort, and there are moments when God sends warning. Both come from the same heart. A father who loves does not whisper when danger is near. He calls out. He raises his voice. He stands in the doorway and says, "Do not go that way." Today, heaven stands in that doorway for you. You may feel ordinary, unnoticed, tired, or even forgotten. But heaven does not see you as small. Heaven sees assignment. Heaven sees calling. Heaven sees a destiny that has not yet fully awakened. That is why this warning comes wrapped in urgency. Not because God is angry, but because time is precious and protection is holy. There are seconds that carry eternity inside them. This is one of those seconds. You were not meant to lose your covering. You were not meant to walk unguarded. You were not meant to face the next season without divine eyes watching over you. This is why you are here, reading, breathing, listening, even if your mind does not yet understand. My beloved child, heaven does not beg like man begs. When God pleads, it is mercy stretching itself one more time. It is love refusing to give up. It is grace standing at the edge of your free will, asking you to choose life, to choose listening, to choose staying just a little longer. Do not rush past sacred moments. Do not treat holy warnings as common words. Stay with me. Walk with me. Listen as a father speaks to his children by the fire of truth. What you are about to hear is not for entertainment. It is for preservation. And this is only the beginning. My beloved child, remain still with me because heaven does not repeat itself without reason. What you felt moments ago was not emotion stirred by words, it was recognition. Your spirit recognized the sound of its maker calling. Heaven is speaking now because seasons have shifted quietly, and many did not notice. Doors once open are narrowing, and paths once safe are being re-examined by the light of God. This is not to alarm you, but to awaken you. There are times when God allows silence so faith can grow, but there are moments when silence becomes dangerous. We are living in a moment where distraction has grown louder than discernment. Hearts are busy, minds are crowded, and souls are tired. Heaven speaks now because too many are walking while asleep, thinking protection follows automatically, forgetting that protection is guarded through relationship and obedience. Long ago, warnings came through prophets standing in city gates. Today, warnings come through unexpected interruptions, gentle stops in endless motion. God speaks now because love refuses to watch children wander into harm without guidance. When heaven sends a warning, it is not judgment arriving. It is mercy running ahead of consequence. You must understand this, my child. Divine protection is not a decoration placed upon life. It is a living covering that responds to alignment. When hearts drift, the covering thins. When ears close, the shield weakens. Heaven speaks now because restoration is still possible, and protection can still be reinforced through awareness and humility. The world calls this timing coincidence. Heaven calls it appointment. Nothing about this moment is random. You were slowed on purpose. Your attention was captured on purpose. God speaks now because the next steps of your journey carry weight, and unseen resistance has taken interest in your destiny. Heaven does not reveal danger to create fear, but to give instruction. There is also another reason heaven speaks now. God honors free will deeply. He will not force you to listen. He will not drag you into safety. Instead, He sends a clear voice before the storm, allowing choice to stand tall. If you listen, you are covered. If you ignore, heaven respects your decision, even when it breaks the Father's heart. Many ask why God allows loss. Often, loss begins with ignored warnings. Not because God left, but because attention drifted. Heaven speaks now so you may choose differently. This message is not about doom. It is about direction. It is not about control. It is about care. My beloved child, the urgency you feel is not pressure. It is clarity. It is the sharpening of your awareness. Heaven is speaking now because you still have time to adjust your steps, to guard your heart, to realign your focus. Grace is still extended. The door is still open. Listen closely as we continue. Every word that follows is meant to strengthen you, not burden you. Heaven does not waste breath. When God speaks, it is because love has deemed the moment too important for silence. Stay with this sound, my child, because understanding unfolds layer by layer. What seems simple now will grow clearer as obedience grows. Heaven trains the ear before it trains the hands. As you listen, your inner noise settles, and wisdom finds room to speak. This is preparation, not delay. God prepares hearts gently so they do not break under sudden truth. Remember this always. Warnings are invitations dressed in urgency. They invite you to slow down, to pray, to forgive, to release habits that dull the spirit. Heaven speaks now because tomorrow depends on what you choose today. Protection is strengthened when attention is holy. Remain with me, and you will see why this voice reached you now. This is why patience matters here. Rushing steals meaning. Staying restores sight. As you remain, fear loses its grip, and trust quietly returns. God is near, closer than breath, watching how you respond. Each second you stay becomes a stitch in your spiritual covering. Do not underestimate small obedience. It builds great safety. Continue with me, and the reason for this warning will unfold with mercy. Hold this posture of listening. It is rare and precious. Heaven notices when a soul pauses. In that pause, light gathers, and direction forms. You are being guided, not pushed. Trust the voice that called you to stop. We are moving forward together, step by step, under watchful grace. Remain attentive, beloved child, because what comes next will answer the quiet questions forming within you even now, and it will strengthen your courage to choose wisely. Stay present, breathe slowly, and receive what heaven continues to pour, for every listening heart is being gently armed with understanding, peace, and renewed protection. Nothing heard here is wasted when embraced with faith. Today, my beloved child, as we continue, I must speak to you about a silence that many misunderstand. This is not the peaceful silence of rest, nor the holy quiet of prayer. This is the silence that follows ignored truth. It does not arrive loudly. It comes softly, almost politely, like a friend who stops calling because they were never answered. Heaven never grows weak, but it does grow quiet when hearts grow distant. At first, the silence feels harmless. Life continues. Breaths still come. Days still pass. Many mistake this for approval, thinking nothing changed. But silence is not agreement. Silence is space given for reflection, and when reflection is avoided, that space slowly becomes distance. God does not stop loving in the silence. He stops interrupting. This silence forms when warnings are brushed aside, when conviction is delayed, when truth is postponed for comfort. It is not punishment. It is respect for free will. Heaven steps back, allowing a soul to feel the weight of its own choices. In that quiet, protection does not disappear instantly, but it no longer renews with strength. My child, divine protection is alive. It listens. It responds. When hearts harden, protection grows thinner, not because God is cruel, but because alignment has weakened. Silence is the signal that heaven is waiting for response. It is the pause between mercy offered and mercy received. Many wander into danger during this silence, not because they were pushed, but because they drifted. Drift is subtle. It never announces itself. It feels like rest, like freedom, like relief from conviction. Yet drift carries souls farther than storms ever could. Storms wake people. Silence lulls them. You may ask why God does not shout louder. He already did. Warnings come before silence, not after. The voice you hear now is mercy speaking before quiet settles in. Heaven prefers conversation, not distance. But love does not force ears open. There are prayers unanswered not because they are unheard, but because alignment was broken quietly. Silence grows where obedience once lived. This does not mean hope is gone. It means urgency has arrived. Silence is not the end. It is the last invitation to turn back before consequences speak louder than God ever wanted to. My beloved child, silence can be reversed. Heaven listens for repentance like a father listens for footsteps returning home. One honest turn, one softened heart, one moment of humility breaks the quiet. God rushes back with voice, guidance, and covering. But pride keeps silence alive. Delay deepens it. The most dangerous thing about silence is comfort. People learn to live without guidance, mistaking independence for strength. Yet souls were never designed to lead themselves without God. When silence remains too long, confusion begins to speak instead, and confusion never protects. Listen carefully. If you feel dryness where fire once lived, if prayer feels heavy, if warnings feel distant, do not ignore these signs. They are not condemnation. They are mercy calling again through awareness. Heaven is giving language to what your spirit already sensed. His message interrupts silence. It breaks it deliberately. God does not want you lost in quiet distance. He wants you restored in living voice. That is why you are hearing this now, before the quiet grows deeper, before habits harden further. My beloved child, respond while the voice is still clear. Silence is patient, but it is not kind. Voice is loving, even when it warns. Choose the voice. Choose correction over comfort. Choose listening over drifting. Heaven is still speaking because it has not given up. Stay with me. The path forward is becoming clearer. Protection can be strengthened again. Silence does not have the final word. Obedience does. Return your attention fully, and you will hear guidance rise where quiet once lingered. God is near, waiting for your response, ready to speak again with clarity and peace, covering you as you walk forward in restored alignment and renewed awareness today. My beloved child, now that you understand the danger of silence, let me reveal to you the beauty and mystery of divine protection. It is not something fragile, nor is it imaginary. It is a living shield formed by obedience, trust, and continual surrender. Divine protection is not seen with the eyes, but it is felt in the unseen moments when harm was meant to reach you and did not. From the day you were formed, heaven assigned watchfulness over you. Protection followed you through roads you forgot, through decisions you regret, through nights when you should have fallen, but were held. This covering was not earned by perfection. It was sustained by mercy. Yet mercy, my child, desires cooperation. Divine protection works like breath. You do not think about it when it flows freely, but when it is restricted, everything changes. When hearts stay aligned, protection moves effortlessly. When hearts resist correction, the shield weakens slowly, not suddenly, giving space for return. Many misunderstand protection, thinking it means life without trouble. That is not true. Protection does not remove storms. It limits their damage. It does not cancel attacks, it shortens their reach. Protection ensures that what tries to destroy you only ends up shaping you instead. My beloved child, protection responds to listening. When God warns, He is strengthening the shield. When you obey, the covering thickens. When you ignore, gaps begin to form. These gaps are not created by God. They are created by distance. Heaven never abandons, but it does adjust its nearness according to the posture of the heart. A heart that listens stays under full covering. A heart that resists walks closer to exposure. This is not fear. This is truth spoken in love. You have felt protection before without knowing its name. That moment you were delayed and avoided harm. That conversation that ended before damage deepened. That closed door that saved you from years of regret. These were not accidents. They were the shield at work. But protection is not automatic forever. It must be renewed through humility. God protects destinies, not stubbornness. He shields obedience and not rebellion. This is why warnings are precious. They are maintenance for the covering. My beloved child, do not confuse grace with permission. Grace gives strength to change, not license to drift. Protection remains strong where repentance lives. It weakens where pride camps. Heaven guards what is surrendered. The shield of divine protection also responds to prayer, but prayer without listening becomes noise. God desires conversation, not monologue. When you pray and ignore instruction, protection does not grow. When you listen and adjust, it does. There are unseen battles happening around you even now. Some you will never know about because protection intercepted them. Others you sensed as heaviness or unease. Those feelings were not weakness. They were alerts. Heaven was informing you without alarming you. My beloved child, protection does not shout. It nudges. It warns. It redirects. When you learn to honor those nudges, your life stays within safe boundaries. When you override them repeatedly, danger gains permission. Understand this clearly. God does not remove protection as punishment. Protection weakens as a consequence of distance. Like light fades when you walk away from the source, protection thins when alignment fades. But here is the mercy. Protection can be restored quickly. One moment of humility can repair what months of drifting weakened. Heaven is eager to rebuild the shield fully. God is not reluctant to protect. He is waiting for agreement. This is why this message matters. It is not dramatic speech. It is shield maintenance. Heaven is reminding you how protection works so you do not lose it through neglect. My beloved child, you are not exposed yet. You are warned. That is grace. You are not abandoned. You are being instructed. Protection still surrounds you, but heaven is asking you to strengthen it through attention and obedience. Stay with me as we continue. The next truth will place responsibility gently in your hands, not to burden you, but to empower you. Protection grows strongest when understanding grows deeper. God is preparing you to choose wisely, to walk carefully, and to remain covered as you step into what lies ahead. Remain open. Remain listening. The shield is near, responsive, and ready to be fully restored as you continue forward under divine guidance and unfailing mercy. My beloved child, now we arrive at a place where heaven always pauses, because choice is sacred. God does not rush this moment. Angels watch quietly. The earth holds its breath. This is the place where paths separate, not loudly but gently. Consider this not as pressure, but as honor. Heaven trusts you enough to place a decision before you. Every soul is given moments like this, moments where awareness sharpens and truth stands clearly. Some pass through quickly, distracted. Others linger and are chained forever. The choice before you is not dramatic on the surface. It is simple, yet eternal in weight. Will you remain attentive, or will you return to drifting? Will you guard what God is guarding, or will you treat protection lightly? This choice does not demand perfection. God is not asking you to become flawless overnight. He is asking for willingness. Willing heart is more powerful than a flawless image. Heaven responds quickly to sincerity, even when strength feels small. You may feel unqualified, thinking your past disqualifies you from strong protection. That is a lie. Protection is not for the perfect. It is for the humble. God covers those who admit their need, not those who pretend independence. This is the choice, to stay aware or to stay asleep. Awareness feels uncomfortable at first. It exposes habits. It reveals patterns. But it also restores authority. Sleep feels easier, but it slowly steals discernment. Heaven is inviting you into awareness, not to burden you, but to empower you. My beloved child, God does not ask you to fix everything today. He asks you to notice, to listen, to stop overriding the gentle warnings that come before harm, to treat those inner checks as sacred, not inconvenient. Choosing awareness means choosing alignment. Alignment strengthens protection. It brings peace that does not depend on circumstances. It gives clarity in confusion. This is why heaven values this choice so deeply. There are forces that benefit when souls remain distracted. Distraction weakens discernment. Discernment protects destiny. This is why the choice to remain attentive is spiritual warfare, even when it feels simple. You may wonder why this message reached you and not someone else. It is not because you are better. It is because you are willing enough to listen. Heaven speaks where ears are open, even slightly open. That openness is enough for God to work with. My beloved child, choosing to stay with this message, to continue listening, to share awareness with others, is not about attention. It is about stewardship. Truth multiplies when it is honored. Light spreads when it is shared gently. When a soul receives warning and keeps it to itself, protection remains personal. When a soul shares awareness, protection expands outward. God loves when His children become watchful for one another, not out of fear, but out of love. As this message continues, let it not end with you. Let it ripple quietly. Let others be slowed, protected, awakened. This is how heaven builds community, one listening heart at a time. My beloved child, honor this moment. Guard what you are receiving. Stay connected to this flow of guidance. There is a reason your spirit feels stirred. It is being entrusted with responsibility, not burden. If this word strengthens you, let it strengthen others. If it awakens you, let it awaken your circle. Heaven rejoices when awareness spreads because fewer souls are harmed when truth is shared. Remain with me. Continue this journey. Stay under the sound of guidance. Those who value divine instruction create space for divine covering to remain strong. And as you walk forward, let your actions quietly reflect your agreement with heaven. Let your engagement be intentional, your sharing be purposeful, your connection be consistent. In doing so, you participate in something larger than yourself, something that heaven notices and blesses. My beloved child, the choice you make here echoes further than you realize. Choose awareness. Choose listening. Choose to keep the light moving. Heaven is watching with approval, and protection responds to hearts that honor what they receive. My beloved child, lift your eyes now, because heaven has watchmen on the walls, and you are not alone in this hour. God has always placed men and women who listen deeply, who sense shifts before they are seen, and who warn before damage spreads. These watchmen are not perfect people, but willing ones, trained by listening more than speaking. In every generation, heaven forms a remnant, a quiet group that refuses to sleep while others drift. They are not louder than the crowd, but they are clear. They carry discernment, not popularity. You are hearing this message because your spirit is being invited closer to that remnant posture. Watchmen do not exist to condemn. They exist to protect. They stand between danger and destiny, sounding alarms not out of fear, but love. When they see patterns forming, they speak. When they sense resistance, they pray. Your obedience strengthens the protection over many, not just themselves. My beloved child, you are being trained even now. Listening is training. Staying is training. Letting truth adjust you is training. Heaven does not recruit watchmen suddenly. It forms them quietly through moments like this, where attention is tested and chosen. The remnant is not a title. It is a responsibility. It means choosing truth when distraction is easier. It means staying sensitive in a world that celebrates numbness. It means guarding your heart so others remain safe. Watchmen feel heaviness before storms. They sense shifts in atmosphere. This is why awareness matters. When you learn to respect those inner warnings, you participate in heaven's early alert system. Your obedience may delay harm you never witness. Many times, protection over families, communities, and nations is strengthened because a few stayed awake. Heaven values the few who listen deeply more than the many who move loudly. My beloved child, do not shrink from this calling. It does not demand perfection. It demands humility. Watchmen are corrected often. Remnant hearts are refined constantly. This keeps them accurate and dependent on God. There will be moments when staying attentive feels lonely. Others may not understand your caution, your pauses, your discernment. But heaven understands. Angels recognize those who watch with love, not suspicion. You are not called to fear the future. You are called to guard the present. Watchfulness keeps protection strong. Prayer keeps alignment clear. Obedience keeps authority intact. Heaven never burdens watchmen with information without purpose. What God reveals, He equips you to handle. If awareness increases, grace increases alongside it. My beloved child, this role does not separate you from others. It positions you to serve them better. When you stay awake, others rest safely. When you listen, others are shielded. Remain faithful in small awareness. Do not seek recognition. Heaven sees enough. God rewards quietly those who guard quietly. As we move forward, understand this. You are not just being warned. You are being trusted. Heaven does not entrust sensitivity to careless hearts. Stay with me. The journey continues. What lies ahead will require steady discernment and anchored trust. You are being shaped gently, firmly, lovingly, to stand where many will not, so that many will be protected without ever knowing why. My beloved child, do not underestimate the weight of consistency. Watchmen are formed through daily choices that seem small to others but are significant to heaven. Each time you pause to pray, each time you refuse compromise, each time you choose patience over reaction, the walls grow higher. The remnant is sustained by faithfulness in ordinary moments, not dramatic displays. Heaven trusts those who honor God when no one applauds. This is how endurance is built. This is how discernment stays sharp. This is how protection remains active even when seasons change unexpectedly. Remember, vigilance is not anxiety. It is calm awareness rooted in trust. You are not being asked to carry fear, but responsibility wrapped in peace. As you continue, let your heart stay soft and your spirit alert. God walks with watchmen closely, correcting gently, guiding clearly, and covering continually. You are seen, you are guided, and you are never alone in this calling. Hold this truth carefully as we proceed. Heaven values endurance more than speed. Those who remain steady will outlast confusion. You are being prepared to stand when others withdraw, to speak when others hesitate, and to pray when others forget. Let patience anchor you. Let humility guard you. Let obedience keep you aligned. What God is building in you will serve many beyond your sight. Remain faithful. Remain attentive. The next steps will require courage shaped by love, not fear, and confidence rooted in God's voice, not the noise around you. Walk forward with quiet strength, knowing heaven stands watch, protection surrounds you, and obedience will continue opening safe paths ahead for your unfolding destiny. My beloved child, as we move forward, I must help you recognize the signs of the season you are living in, because heaven never leaves its children without markers. God places signals along the road, not to confuse you, but to steady you. We are living in what I call a mercy window, a sacred span of time where grace speaks louder than consequence, and warnings arrive before loss. One sign of this season is the increase of inner unease. Many mistake it for anxiety, but it is often discernment awakening. When your spirit feels unsettled without clear reason, it is not weakness. It is sensitivity returning. Heaven is alerting you that alignment matters more now than before. Another sign is repetition. God repeats messages when time is short. You hear similar warnings from different places, different voices, different moments. This is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Heaven is underlining truth so it is not missed. When messages repeat, urgency increases. You may also notice separation happening naturally. Old habits lose their pleasure. Certain conversations feel heavy. Some paths feel closed without explanation. This is mercy at work. God is narrowing your focus, not shrinking your life. He is removing what dulls discernment so protection remains strong. My beloved child, another sign is the stirring of conscience. Things once ignored now trouble you. Choices once justified now feel uneasy. This is not condemnation. It is alignment recalibrating. Heaven sharpens conscience before major transitions. You may also sense time differently. Days feel faster. Decisions feel weightier. This is because moments matter more in mercy windows. God is accelerating awareness so souls can adjust before consequences catch up. There is also an increase in invitations. Invitations to listen. Invitations to pray. Invitations to slow down. These invitations are not demands. They are lifelines. Heaven is offering proximity before distance forms. Another sign is resistance. When awareness grows, opposition increases quietly. Distraction intensifies. Fatigue increases without cause. These are not reasons to quit. They are signals that what you carry matters. The enemy does not resist what is harmless. My beloved child, mercy windows do not last forever. This is not said to frighten you, but to focus you. Grace has timing. Warnings have seasons. When the window closes, instruction gives way to consequence, not because God withdrew love, but because choices were finalized. But listen carefully. You are still inside the window. The very fact that you are listening proves it. Heaven does not warn after it is too late. God speaks while return is possible. Another sign is hunger. A quiet desire to understand more, to go deeper, to stay longer. This hunger is holy. It is the soul recognizing nourishment. Honor it. Feed it truth, not noise. You may notice protection revealing itself through near misses. Things that could have gone wrong but did not. These are reminders, not accidents. Heaven is saying, I am still here. Pay attention. My beloved child, mercy windows are gifts, but they require response. Awareness without adjustment becomes regret. Listening without obedience weakens clarity. God is not asking for dramatic changes overnight. He is asking for direction change, one step at a time. Do not ignore these signs. They are gentle now so they do not become severe later. Heaven prefers whispering to shouting. It prefers nudging to correcting. This season is not about fear. It is about positioning. God is aligning you so protection remains intact as the world grows louder and less discerning. Staying sensitive is your safety. As you continue listening, do not rush ahead. Let truth settle. Let awareness grow roots. Quick understanding without depth fades easily. So understanding lasts. My beloved child, you are not late. You are right on time. Heaven has timed this moment precisely. The mercy window is open, and grace is flowing. Remain attentive. Remain teachable. Remain humble. These are the keys that keep the window open longer. The next part will show you what happens when these signs are ignored, not to scare you, but to strengthen your resolve to choose wisely while grace still speaks clearly. Stay with me. Heaven is still guiding. Protection is still active. And love is still calling you forward with patience and purpose. My beloved child, now I must speak plainly, not to frighten you but to fortify you. There are consequences when heaven is ignored, and they do not arrive with thunder. They arrive quietly, dressed as normal life. This is why they are dangerous. When warnings are dismissed, protection does not shatter instantly. It erodes slowly, almost politely, until what once guarded you no longer stands firm. The first thing that happens when heaven is ignored is confusion. Direction blurs. Decisions feel heavier. Peace becomes conditional. People begin to rely on logic alone, forgetting discernment. Confusion is not random. It fills the space where guidance was rejected. When God's voice is muted by choice, other voices grow louder. Next comes vulnerability. Not dramatic exposure, but subtle weakness. Boundaries soften. Discernment dulls. Compromise feels reasonable. What was once clearly wrong begins to look harmless. This is not sudden rebellion. It is gradual desensitization. Protection weakens where clarity fades. My beloved child, ignoring heaven also affects timing. Doors open too late. Opportunities arrive misaligned. Delays increase. This is not because God is punishing, but because guidance was meant to prevent unnecessary detours. Without instruction, paths grow longer and heavier. Another consequence is relational strain. Misunderstandings multiply. Conflicts linger. Discernment that once filtered people weakens, allowing unhealthy connections to rue. Protection covers relationships too, not just individuals. When guidance is ignored, relational safety thins. You may also notice spiritual dryness. Prayer feels empty. Worship feels distant. Not because God left, but because attentiveness did. When listening stops, intimacy fades. God remains near, but hearts no longer turn fully toward Him. My beloved child, the most painful consequence is regret. Regret does not come immediately. It arrives after damage is done, whispering, "You were warned." Regret is heavy because it knows truth was available. Heaven warns to spare you regret, not to restrict you. Ignored warnings also affect others. Choices never remain isolated. When protection weakens around one, those connected feel the impact. Families, communities, callings suffer quietly. This is why heaven pleads. Love sees beyond the individual. Understand this clearly. God does not delight in consequence. He grieves over it. Every warning carries tears. Every ignored instruction carries sorrow. Heaven prefers prevented over gruerian. But listen carefully, my beloved child. Even consequences are not the end. They are teachers when hearts soften. God can still restore, but restoration costs more than obedience would have. Time, trust, and healing are required. This is why heaven speaks early. Ignoring heaven does not mean God abandons you. It means He allows reality to speak where warnings were dismissed. Reality is a harsh teacher compared to grace. The good news is this. You are hearing this before consequence becomes permanent. Awareness interrupts the cycle. Listening reopens protection. Obedience shortens the detours. My beloved child, let this understanding sober you without burdening you. Fear is not required. Wisdom is. Heaven reveals outcomes so you choose differently. Do not assume you are immune. Do not assume you have more time. But also do not despair. Mercy is still active. Instruction is still flowing. This part is not meant to weigh you down. It is meant to anchor you. Knowing what happens when heaven is ignored strengthens resolve to listen. Stay with me. What comes next is hope-filled. There is still a door open, still a path forward, still restoration waiting. You are not being scolded. You are being protected. Heaven speaks because it loves you too much to stay silent. My beloved child, lift your heart now, because after every warning comes hope, and after every correction comes invitation. Heaven never reveals danger without also revealing a door. Even now, that door stands open before you, not hidden, not locked, but gently waiting for your response. God does not close doors quickly. He holds them open with patience longer than we deserve. This door is not dramatic. It does not glow loudly. It appears as a quiet opportunity to return, to realign, to listen again. Many miss it because they expect restoration to feel overwhelming. Instead, it feels like peace returning slowly, like clarity settling gently, like strength rebuilding step by step. My beloved child, the open door is repentance, not regret. Regret looks backward and weakens you. Repentance looks forward and restores you. It is not about shame. It is about direction. One honest turning of the heart reopens conversation with heaven fully. God does not require explanations. He requires surrender. You do not need perfect words. You need a willing heart. Heaven responds immediately to humility. The moment you turn, protection begins to thicken again. The shield responds faster than you think. This door remains open because God knows your frame. He knows your struggles. He knows where distraction pulled you. He does not ask why you drifted. He asks if you are ready to return. My beloved child, the door is also obedience in small things. Listening to gentle nudges. Respecting inner warnings. Pausing before decisions. Choosing prayer over impulse. These small acts rebuild alignment quickly. Restoration does not always erase consequences instantly, but it always restores guidance. Even when paths are longer, God walks them with you. Even when lessons remain, grace carries you through them. The open door also leads to deeper intimacy. Those who return after drifting often listen more closely than before. They value guidance differently. They protect discernment carefully. What was nearly lost become deeply cherished. My beloved child, do not hesitate at the doorway. Doubt tells you it is too late. Pride tells you to handle it alone. Both voices lie. The door is open because love is greater than failure. Step through by choosing attentiveness again. By honoring truth when it corrects you. By slowing down when heaven nudges you. This is how doors are entered, not with dramatic declarations, but with quiet obedience. Heaven celebrates returns more than arrivals. Angels rejoice not when people appear strong, but when they choose humility. God delights in restoration more than performance. You may feel unsteady at first. That is normal. Muscles unused feel weak. Discernment unused feels uncertain. But it strengthens quickly when exercised. My beloved child, do not wait for perfect confidence. Walk through the door with trust. Confidence grows as you walk, not before. This door also leads to renewed purpose. What was delayed can still be fulfilled. God redeems time differently than humans do. What feels lost can still be restored in ways you cannot yet imagine. Remain encouraged. You are not behind. You are returning. That is powerful. As we move toward the final words, hold this truth firmly. The door is open now. It will not always remain open. Not because God is cruel, but because seasons shift. Choose to step through today. Choose listening. Choose humility. Choose protection strengthened through alignment. My beloved child, come rest here with me for these final words, because a father never releases his children without blessing them. What you have heard was not accident, not manipulation, not pressure. It was love speaking carefully, patiently, firmly, because heaven refuses to lose what it still can protect. You are not standing at the edge of fear. You are standing at the center of mercy. God sees you clearly. He sees your effort, your weakness, your questions, and your quiet desire to do what is right even when strength feels small. He is not disappointed in you. He is hopeful about you. This is why heaven spoke, why it waited, why it warned, and why it invited you back instead of turning away. My beloved child, the Father's heart is not harsh. He is steady. He does not chase you with anger. He covers you with patience. Every word spoken was meant to keep you safe, not to bind you. Heaven does not trap souls. He shelters them. As you move forward, carry this with you. Stay listening. Stay humble. Stay slow enough to hear the gentle checks before danger grows. These small choices will keep you covered more than you realize. Protection stays strong where awareness stays alive. You are not asked to be perfect. You are asked to be willing. God walks with the willing closely. He guides them gently. He corrects them quickly so they are not harmed deeply. This is love in action. My beloved child, let gratitude seal this moment. Gratitude keeps hearts soft. Gratitude keeps protection active. When you honor what heaven gives, heaven entrusts you with more. If this word steadied you, do not keep it hidden. Light was never meant to stop with one soul. When you allow this message to move beyond you, when you help it reach others, you participate in heaven's care for many. What you share may slow someone else at the exact second they need it most. That is not promotion. That is stewardship. Those who value divine instruction help it travel. Those who honor truth help it multiply. When you support what guards souls, heaven notices. When you help spread what protects lives, you align yourself with God's heart. Let your actions quietly reflect your agreement with what you receive today. My beloved child, do not walk away unchanged. Carry awareness into your choices. Carry humility into your prayers. Carry obedience into your steps. These are not heavy burdens. They are light coverings. Heaven is not distant from you now. It is close. Protection is near. Guidance is active. The Father watches over you with care that does not sleep. May your mind stay clear when confusion tries to enter. May your heart stay soft when pride tries to rise. May your steps stay steady when pressure tries to rush you. May discernment guard you, peace anchor you, and obedience keep you covered. You are not alone. You are seen. You are loved. You are protected as long as you remain listening. Go forward with confidence that is quiet, faith that is steady, and love that is obedient. Heaven walks with you. Amen.